Hey everybody, Kyle's real here today. Figured we'd do a Comic Con stories from back in the day, what my first Comic Con was like, and maybe we'll share some more too in there. I don't know how long the video will be, but I figured this would be fun since you guys voted on the poll. So, my first Comic Con experience was 2015, and I remember I was a little nervous because it was at Komori-Con. It was in a big city, and it was in Portland. And I remember I'd never been to a Comic Con before, so I had no idea what I was expecting. And but I committed, and I trained like really hard, and I lost all this weight. And I remember I was pretty excited, and I remember it was a bit nerve wracking being in that huge ass city, and I didn't have a cell phone, believe it or not. I did not have a cell phone. I was in this big city. I was actually really nervous. I don't usually get anxiety, but this time I kind of did. I kind of did have a little bit of anxiety. And so I remember we were all dressed up or whatever, and I remember I was in this huge, like, it was just gigantic. I've never seen anything like this. There was just so many people. There was like swarms and swarms of people. Like I've been in big cities before, but like I've never seen this many people before. And I remember it just being like a whole different world. I was like, wow, there's actually people that like this stuff. And I remember it was such a fun, positive experience, but I'd be lying if I wasn't a little nervous. I was definitely, there's some anxiety in there, I will admit. It was pretty surreal though. I remember I had so many people coming up to me and want to do pictures, and it was such a positive experience. My first Comic Con was very positive. Everybody was very supportive and actually was like really nice to each other. I don't think there was a bad time. I remember talking to people at the vendors that would sell all the merch and stuff, and we would just talk for like 20, 30 minutes. It was literally a full day of just walking around and meeting new people and getting pictures. It was such a fun time. And it's crazy to think that that was 10 years ago. I think this is when I officially realized that anime was mainstream, because so many people were so talkative and everyone was so having fun. And the funniest part is there wasn't, to my memory, there was barely anyone cosplaying any One Piece, funny enough. My first con experience, there was almost nobody dressed up as One Piece characters. So One Piece hadn't quite broken to the mainstream yet, but a lot of people knew me from Hunter x Hunter because I went as Killua and stuff like that. And it was, dude, it was just so much fun, man. Like, I honestly don't have any regrets. It was definitely a blast. What's crazy, though, is how different anime cons are now, because 10 years ago it was still packed and it was still chaotic, but like it wasn't what it is now. Like nowadays I feel like it's so normal, like it's so normalized, whereas like then it was like wasn't quite there, but like it was definitely like there was this fresh new era that was like flooding in. I think 2015 was definitely a big one for that. I remember talking to this guy. He was dressed up as, I think, Naruto, and me and him talked for like an hour. And then I met this girl, and we were chatting for like 30 minutes. And I don't even remember what we were talking about. I'm pretty sure we were talking about. I think we were just talking about anime. I honestly don't remember. It was definitely, my memory's a little fuzzy on some things. There's some things I remember, some things I just don't. But I do remember it was a very positive experience, and I do have a distinct memory. There's the one thing I do really remember from my first Comic Con is that I walked into this anime merch store, and they had like every manga and every anime that I knew. And I remember I walked in there, and I remember buying the entire stack of Hunter x Hunter. I remember I bought the first, I think it was, God, it must have been, I think I bought the first 25 volumes, something like that. I remember that. That was really rad. That was so cool, buying like the entire stack of Hunter x Hunter. And just walking out, and then putting it in the car, and walking all the way out of the con, and then putting it in the car, and then going back in, and we went and got, I think I had sushi. I remember having calamari, and it was actually really good. And then I found out it was octopus, and I about threw up. So that was a really fun experience, to be honest. And then my older brother, he went with me, and I remember him getting pneumonia. And I remember we were both wicked sick, and because we were in a hotel. And then I remember he was like throwing up, and we were so sick, and we were watching some Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball, and we were like super sick with pneumonia. It was worth it. It was so much fun that getting pneumonia wasn't so bad, guys. Oh man. So that was my first con experience. And then 2016 came around, and I think we went to KomoriCon again. I think we did it again. But for some reason, I don't remember that one very well. I'm gonna be real. I just remember I had one in my small town, and there was almost nobody that showed up. It was so small, like it was like this tiny little event where I live, and oh dude, so check this out. So this was funny. I remember this story now. I had to sit and think about it for a minute, and oh, this is great. So I went with Kilo again in 2016, like the next year, and there was this girl that was dressed up as Zero Suit Samus, and she was wicked hot, and she was so hot, and it's so funny. She was like, oh my god, I fucking love your cosplay, or whatever, and I was like, oh, I think yours is really good too. And then her dad walks up behind me, and I was like, oh no. It was like one of those moments, I remember that. And it was fucking hilarious, because I remember I had my friend Beast with me at the time. And it was like one of those moments in slow-mo where you're just like, oh no. And then, so that made it really intense. So it was like really awkward, because I couldn't tell if she was just being friendly and just talkative. But like when the dad being there just like turned me like way off, and then I was like kind of sketched out. And I remember that was so fucking funny. Oh my god, that was so funny, man. It was like holy shit, this girl's like wicked hot, and then the dad just walks up and you're just like, oh no. Oh my god. But I just remember walking around, we were checking out all the cool stuff, and you know, honestly, KomoriCon was a lot more fun, but that was like the only thing I honestly remember from that one. And I remember I went to another one the following year in 2017. I went to the big one in Seattle. I went to, God, what was that one called? God, I don't even remember. Dark Horse was the sponsor of this one, I think. I remember Dark Horse Comics because of Berserk. Yeah, so, quick backstory. So, back in the day, this one's kind of sad. This one's not so funny. So, back in the day, I used to play a lot of Overwatch, obviously. If you've been across my channel, maybe a little bit, you may have noticed that I used to play Overwatch at a pretty high level. And I had some console buddies that I used to be friends with. This is 2017. I didn't have a PC yet, so this is in the early days. And my console buddies and we were all planning out going to the one in Seattle. We were all gonna go do this. So I think I took the train up to Seattle. I honestly can't. Yeah, I think I took the train. So I go up to Seattle, and we have it all mapped out. We're all ready, and I'm meeting all my friends and stuff in Seattle. And we were planning this for like a year, and all my buddies were like, yeah, let's do it. So I had like 4 or 5 console buddies. I can't remember all of them. I just remember I had a group of console buddies on Overwatch, and we were all gonna go meet at Seattle Comic Con. And I remember I get up there, you know, the day of the con or whatever, I get up, I get dressed up, and I went as Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. I remember that. So I went as Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho, and I went as, I think it was, did I do Killua again? I think I did. I think that was the last year I did Killua. And I went up there, and yeah, day one I did Hiei. First day I did Hiei, and then the next day I did Killua. So the first day I went up there as Hiei, and I met some really cool people up there. But the it's so funny. I messaged my buddies, right, and none of them got back to me, right. So not one of my friends got back to me. I was supposed to meet like 4 or 5. They just ghosted me, right. And so here I am. I took this like 4 or 5 hour train ride all the way up to Seattle, and not one of my friends showed up. And I was, calling them and messaging them and stuff, and they just ghosted me. So I am in Seattle. I'm like 5 hours from home in a hotel by myself. And I just remember I was in this giant Comic-Con by myself, and none of my friends, they all ghosted me. And I remember, like, it was kind of a downer, I'm not gonna lie. It was really, like, it really sucked going to this huge event by yourself. And they just blew me off. And I remember, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit sad, guys. Like, that was my first big reality check where I don't want to make this video sad, but like I kind of have to because it's part of the story. I remember I was really butthurt, and I was like, okay, I gotta find out how to make this work. So I get down there, and I'm like walking around, I'm doing all these pictures. It's so much fun. I'm still having fun. I'm meeting other people. Like there was people dressed up as Yusuke. I mean, it was really cool running into people that were liking the same stuff. I have to look and see if I still have those pictures, but they should be in the video. But yeah, I plan on putting them in the video. I'll put some of the pictures in here. But yeah, it was super fun. I mean, for the most part, considering that I think all my friends ghosted me. I don't think one of them showed up. It was super dope though. I mean, I got to meet some fun people, and I remember I met this one girl who was, I think she went as, is it Minda? From Twilight Princess? Oh man, she was so fucking cool. Anyway, she was really cool. I met Raven from Teen Titans. She was pretty cool. The hard part is, like, how do you talk to people in another state far away and not be creepy? And I think that to me was the hardest thing to do. Like, how are you gonna tell random strangers, hey, my group that I was supposed to be with for 2 days like ghosted me, and I had to figure out how to make it work, and that was the hardest thing to do, is to not come off as a total freaking weirdo. So, figuring out how to make that work was pretty real, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I was too weird, but it is what it is. But we made it work. And I met some amazing people. I think it was Minda, so she was really fun. I hung out with her a little bit. I just hung out with random strangers for like 4 or 5 hours, and then went back to my hotel and vibed and shit. Because I think the con closed at like 8. I didn't do the after party because I don't drink, so I didn't do I probably should have did that, but when you're by yourself, I don't want to do stuff like that, especially when your friends aren't there. So I didn't do that. I just went back to the hotel and I think I just watched some anime and went to bed, and then woke up the next day and went to Tula. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the story. Oh, nope. I missed a part. So the next day, I went as Killua, and I ran into other Hunter x Hunter cosplayers. And I went as, edgy Killua, whatever. He's got the black eyeliner, and he's got the human heart, and he's got blood and stuff. And I met someone else that did Killua, and they had the skateboard, and I was bullshitting with them or whatever. I think there was a little bit of jealousy in there, or like some competitiveness in there, because I like got this vibe that like they were like angry. Like I got this like weird like sketched out vibe from them, and I remember they wanted to invite me to go do some photo shoots with them, and so I gave them my number or whatever, and they never text me back. So. But it was like really awkward. So I don't even know what happened to those pictures, by the way. I have no idea what happened to the pictures that we took. I have no clue. There's somewhere out there. Someone has it somewhere on some Facebook 10 years ago. 7, 8, 9, some years ago. And that was 8 years ago. 2017 was 8 years ago? Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, I remember them just like giving me these like snake eyes and like dirty looks or whatever, and I was like, what did I do? I'm like, maybe, I don't know. I was like, I think there was some kind of like weird competition there. But I remember the dude that was dressed as the Oreo was like really weird. That guy was like really fucking weird. and the other person dressed as Kilo. I think that they had good intentions, but I don't know. And then the Karate cosplayer was like really. I think that person had really bad social anxiety. I think that's what it was. But what's funny is like their cosplays were actually good. They were just weird people. But I mean, maybe I was the weird one. You know, my friends didn't show, and then I was like at this huge Comic-Con for 2 days by myself, staying in a hotel by myself. So maybe I was the weird one. But in retrospect, I honestly think that at the end of the day, just because you're at a con and stuff like this, people are still, you know, they're people. But it is what it is, my dudes. But yeah, I mean, I basically made the best of what I could do at the con by myself, and I remember I bought some cool shit. I remember I bought the Hellsing Ultimate Deluxe Blu-ray. That was pretty fucking cool. I got myself some cool anime merch. I'm trying to remember what else I got. I actually have to think about that. I don't remember what I bought. I have to think about it. I just remember the stories and like what happened, but yeah, I basically just went home on I think it was Monday. Might have been a Monday I went home. Yeah, I think it was Monday. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, guys, it was an experience, and it was really sad because when I got home and I ran into my Overwatch buddies again, they're all like, "Oh, we had to work," and it was like after hearing that, like the fun little memory and like with Overwatch, and then when my buddies didn't show, like it got really awkward. It was really bad, so we weren't really much friends after that. It was pretty hard, and then I remember that following year in 2018, that's when I got my job, and I just started working to get a PC, and I was just gonna leave console, because I was like, my buddies they just suck, dude. So like, I wanted to move to PC because I wanted to compete in Overwatch, but I also wanted to leave because my friends I thought I knew weren't my friends. They were just assholes. So it was a column of both. It was I want to compete and I wanted to rid myself of these shitty people that sucked. I mean the memories I did have with them were great, but realizing that they were all just fake and just assholes, I mean it was just like, it's aged pretty poorly, honestly. And the fact that I used to stand up for those guys, I mean it is what it is. So tough one right there. So 2018 was the next one I went to, and that was the last one I went to for a long time. And that's the one where I met Cell's voice actor, Handsome Jack, from, oh god, what was his name? Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, I met him. I should have got a signature. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. Oh, that's right. I didn't bring my Dragon Ball Z to sign. That's right. Damian Clark, I think his name is. Yeah, I got to meet Damian Clark. I don't have any pictures either. I don't know why I didn't do any of those things. I could have got Handsome Jack's signature and Cell. I don't know. I don't want to think about that. But I remember Bruce Campbell showed up from Evil Dead. He was there. I didn't get a signature from him either, and I didn't meet him. I don't know why I didn't. I can't remember why. I think I was too busy hanging out with my buddies to even really think about stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. He did like this little quiz thing, Bruce Campbell did, and that was fun. I can't remember where that was. I can't remember where that con was. I don't remember. I'm drawing a blank right now. But yeah, 2018 was a pretty fun con. I mean, there was, I remember vaguely. I remember some. Oh, there was a guy that went as Ace. And me and him became like Facebook friends. But other than that, dude, I mean, that's it. 2018 wasn't nearly as good as the previous years. It was just okay. Oh nope. I remember now. It just hit me. So in 2018, I met this girl. I can't remember her name, and it's probably best I don't. Anyway, there was this time I remember in 2018 where there was this goth girl I met. She was wickedly cute. I thought she was really cute. And we were hitting it off, and we were having fun and bullshitting. And she was really into tarot cards and stuff like that. My brother was really into tarot cards, so it was funny because my brother was with me. And they were having fun chatting, and then I really liked her or whatever. So then got her number, and then we were kind of like hitting it off, and we were having a good time. And then I go to dinner with her. I remember we go out to dinner, and she breaks it to me that she's like, oh, well, I need my boyfriend to come with me. So then she brings her boyfriend with her. And her boyfriend is a 55-year-old. And she's basically getting it with him so she doesn't have to pay rent. And it was like the fattest turnoff and probably one of the worst dates I ever went on. Literally ever. Because she didn't say she was on the date, or she didn't say she had a boyfriend. So she just comes to dinner with this like 50-year-old man. Oh, dude, it was so gross. I try to block that one out. I wish I could just block that one out. That one was bad. But yeah, we didn't have any cons for a very long time after that, guys, because, you know, COVID and stuff, so. We had one recently where I went as Dante. That one was really, that was actually one of the best cons I ever went to. That might actually be, like, my favorite Comic-Con I ever went to. So last May, it was in May. So it was this year in May. So it was earlier this year. I went as Dante in Devil May Cry 3, and that one was wicked awesome. So I remember I had to bleach my hair like 4 times. So my hair literally almost fell out when I did Dante from DMC 3. And I worked out. I was, at that point, I had worked out for like a full year. Like 1 year straight. And I was in fairly good shape. I feel like I did a decent job representing the character and how I wanted to do it. I wasn't quite taking the gym as seriously as I do now, but for the most part, I was training 3 days a week. You know, I dropped down like 30 pounds, and I bought this Dante cosplay, and I tried to commit all the way. And me and this lady, we put it together. She helped me design it to where I could actually pull the guns out, put them away, and put the sword away, and stuff like that. So we got it, the cosplay, better than what it was when I first bought it. So we made some customs to it. And I remember my older brother, he went as Patrick Bateman, and we went to the con here in my little town. We went to Toon Fusion. It was Oregon Toon Fusion. We went to that one. And we'll get down there, and it was big. It was really big for my town. It was pretty poppin'. So I get there, and there was a Ada cosplay from RE. There was, Leon's. There was so many people dressed up. It was such a positive, fun time. I don't think there was a single bad memory from that con. I got to meet a lot of really famous actors. I got to meet Lex Lang, who did, Cortex and Crash Bandicoot from Twin Sanity onward. So he's not the original voice actor. I think the original died, but yeah, Lex Lang was like super dope. He voiced Sinosuke from Rurouni Kenshin, which is very nostalgic for me because Rurouni Kenshin was the first bloody anime I ever watched. So meeting him was super cool, super nice guy. He was a really cool dude. Probably one of the coolest people I've met there as far as voice actors go. I got to meet the voice of Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank. I got to meet Clank's voice actor, who also did Shishomaru from Inuyasha, which was really cool. Both of those guys were pretty cool. Although, I will say, James Arnold Taylor's, he's a bit professional, if that makes sense. He's just been doing it for so long that I feel like he's kind of numb to the fan. Like, he doesn't... I mean, he's also a bit older, but, like, he doesn't have a lot of... How do I explain this? He's almost too professional. Like, he was really cool, but, like, it wasn't like it didn't feel like he was a fan at that point anymore. He's just like, yeah, I'm kind of just here, what's up, It wasn't like a negative, but it also wasn't like super positive. It was like in the middle. But that was cool. Clank was a lot more chill. He was a little more laying back, which is funny because like the characters he voices, he's like kind of the polar opposite, where he's like a little more like Clank, if that makes... Ratchet's more like Clank, and Clank was more like Ratchet if you played those games. If that gives you an idea what James Arnold Taylor was like. So that was fun. Me and my brother got one of our copies that I could find still of Ratchet and Clank from our childhood. So I got to sign the PS3 Ratchet Future Tool Destruction sign because that was the only copy of that game in its case that I could find. So, so we got that. I remember that was pretty rad. Then I got to meet Gohan's voice actor, Stephanie. I can't remember her last name right now. I met her, and she was so cool. Like, holy crap, dude. Really, like, she loves what she does. Like, I can't express that anymore. Like, she just loves what she does. Wow, that was like, her and Lex Lang might be tied. I think Lex Lang was a little more down to earth though. He doesn't let his voice acting go to his head. He doesn't have an ego. He's a fan. He's still a fan. Lex Lang's still a fan. While Stephanie was more like she's a fan, but I think she's just like, maybe it was jet lag. I don't know, but like she really was kind and really nice, but she didn't strike me as like she's still a fan. She was just probably jet lagged, if I honestly had to say. I think she was just tired, you know, traveling and hotels and stuff. It might, I don't know what it's like, I don't know, but everyone has a bad day. But I think for the most part, I think she meant well. She was super fun. We did some poses and stuff. It was great. It was great, really positive experience on that. And then you know, meeting people and doing photos, you know, that was really fun. And I have to say, guys, if you've never been to a Comic-Con, if you've never been to one, you should go. You should honestly go to one. I mean, they're a blast, you know, especially if you dress up. You should definitely dress up. But yeah, Comic-Con is a lot of fun, and it was great. I met so many cool people. Oh man, it was great. I honestly don't really know what else to add to this besides it was really fun. I got to meet the voice actor for Leon. He's pretty interesting. I think he's still new to what he's doing. I don't think he's still a rookie when it comes to doing what he does. He is a fan at heart, which was pretty cool. So the voice actor for Leon S. Kennedy in the Resident Evil remakes, he really is like a fan at heart. It was cool because he's a fan of the games. So like, I asked him, I was like, oh, what's some of your favorite Resident Evil? He's like, the first 3. Like, I thought that was really cool, where he's like, I just like the first 3. He's like, I like Resident Evil 4 for different reasons, but he's like, the first 3 mainline Resident Evil games are the best. And I was like, wow, interesting. I wasn't expecting him to say that. So, that was pretty cool. And, I met this, oh god, what was it, I was surprised how many people were dressed up as Resident Evil characters, actually, at the con. I was actually surprised. And there was these group of people, oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember little things. There was this group of people that wanted to do a video shoot with me or whatever. So, you know, that I did that. I mean, it's kind of cringy, but, I mean, what do you expect? Right? So, I kind of got thrown into that, and I was like, you know what, whatever. I can only do this once. I can't do this anymore, you know? I'm too old now, but I kind of just felt like I got to harness my inner kid, and I think that's what Comic-Con is all about. It's like, you get to be a kid again. It's basically like Halloween again, but like, you get to do it with other people that actually like the same stuff you like. And that to me was really special. That was really special. So, if you made it this far in the video and you actually got to the end of the video, I just want to say thanks, guys. You know, feel free to share your Comic-Con stories if you have any. But this video is actually dragging like 30 minutes, and oh man, editing it's going to be fun. But thank you all so much for tuning in if you made it towards the end of the video. I'm sitting here sipping on a coffee, and I've been talking into a mic, into a black screen for like 30 minutes and rambling. So again, thanks again, guys, and I will see you guys very soon. Hopefully this doesn't take too long, did it? Take care, guys. Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z.